Hey guys, welcome back. It's Grimreaper coming at you for another video for Raidshadowlegends. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully you have a great weekend. Well, the weekend's nearly over now, right? Busy Sunday for a few of us for the fusion. Probably not for most of us because most of us have skipped this fusion. So, kind of a interesting fusion. Probably a bit underwhelming, in all fairness, but you know. We don't always want overpowering fusions. I suppose the break is nice for many of us and stuff like that. I don't think this fusion's been too difficult in resources, but that's supposedly my opinion. Anyway, let's do today's video. We're going to be looking at Mother Mole, or something like that. If I pronounce the name wrong, it is what it is. I'm not great with names, so but we're gonna try and get this right. So it's called HIGHMOTHER Mole. Interesting champion for the skin. If I'm honest, I think she's more of a P versus E champion than a P versus P. We're gonna go through a kit in a second, and then I'm gonna go and show you the ideal content that I think should be great in. So on a one-shot attack enemy one time, has a 50% of a chance of placing a decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Also has a 80% chance of putting an increased attack on the ally with the highest attack. Pretty nice. This can be booked up pretty nicely. You know, this is nice for a little P versus P move, I suppose. You know, if you take one attack nuka, this will be like increased attack kind of ability. This one's a interesting one. Attacks or enemy has a 75% chance, 100% chance on a 3-turn cooldown when it's booked of decreasing the duration of all buffs by 2 turns, then increases all buffs of all allies by 1 turn. Also heals all allies by 20% of this champion's max HP. That is this is like the stronger version of the heal with the champion's max HP because it's going off this champion's max HP, not of the champion's max HP. So before, basically this is a big heal across the board, and this is like the better version of these type of heals. Now they're not always the best type of heals and stuff like that. There is like better versions out there, but this does work pretty nice as well. So this is when instead of focusing your whole team to be high HP to maximize from the heal, you can also just max her HP highest possible, and that would be pretty nice. You will need accuracy to do the duration of their all debuffs, and this is where I think this is more of a P versus E type of content, type of thing. So that's something to it's quite nice. And then she revives all dead allies by 50% of the max HP and turn meter. If the defense is equal or higher than this, then their attack will place increased defense. So basically, defense nukers and support will get defense, and then attack base would likely get attack, increase attack. Then she'll remove one random debuff from all allies at the start of a turn. Pretty nice against like Torment and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And then places an increased heal buff on its ally with the lowest HP at the end of this champion's turn. Pretty juicy. And then she has a accuracy aura of 60. We're going to take her into arena first and take a look at her in arena. And then we're going to also take a look at her in HYDRA as well, because I think this is where her two strongest areas is. She can be more of an endgame champion because of like how late you get her and how hard it is to get her. But I think personally this would be a great champion for someone that's trying to progress the game for like early and mid game champions. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, so we're in the arena. We're gonna have a little look of her in arena first. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look over in arena. I've actually put her with Duchess right now because we want to test A2. I put her in reflex gear to increase the cooldown so she gets to A2 much more. We've got UDK in here, and we also have a Rhodas. And we're just going to take a look at like how well we could do against Lysandra and stuff like that. Again, it's like a go second kind of go style team. It's a bit outdated of a team. I will admit that it's not probably the most in-game team now. But you know, it should be perfectly fine for gold 5 if you build the team correctly, or even 3 versus 3 on the lower down. So you can see here she's got increased attack, we've got some shields, we've got some speeds, speed auras and stuff like that, and we've also got block buffs, increase attack on us as well. So we kind of want to extend that to keep the veils going. You can see that we've extended it by 4 here, which would be like lasting gifts, I believe, and stuff like that. And we put all theirs on jewelry. We've basically stripped them, which is pretty juicy. Lysandra must have got a weak hit on her, and then we just come in and you do what you do best, or what Rhodes does best, and stuff like that, which is pretty okay. You know, it's not too bad, but not too. I suppose it's not too good as well, but you know, it is what it is. Continuous heal as well here, going on with the Rhodes. And then we have some other areas. Now we have a high buff team here with like buffs here, here, and here, which is again, it's actually pretty ideal for her. We'll make sure we protect her as well so she doesn't die to Rhodes. She's strong affinity to Rhodes, which is a advantage, especially if you don't actually have a UDK. I couldn't imagine who doesn't, but you know, there is people out there now that are starting not to have one. So you can see we've got a couple of buffs out there and stuff like that. And then we've reduced the veils and stuff, which is basically brought like Sifi back in so we can go ahead and deal with her. And then we just trigger Rhodes passive. Why not? Is what it is. Then we continuous heal there. And then we are just going to sit here and wait for her abilities. She's got 2-turn cooldown there, which is pretty juicy. This is more of a Hydra build on her. I'll show you the build and stuff like that. Obviously, there'll be timestamps down below for you guys to kind of see what you need to see. Now we have a Hex on her for 2 turns. Let's see if Reflex has done its job. It hasn't, but she has cleansed the Hex off, which is actually pretty nice. We're going to go and try put a decrease attack down. We don't get that, but we do get a increase attack with that. So you can use it generally to your advantage, more or less, right? And again, we're going to go ahead and try that there, but we don't land it because obviously Mafala is Mafala. Great champion as well. And then we'll try this as well. So there we are. Let's try more of a interesting team. We've got block boss here actually, which is normally quite annoying. We're going to drop Duchess because I know she's a bit of a play to win champion. We'll keep our Rhodes in there because I do generally like my Rhodes to be quite good. We're going to bring in Mafala for a bit of testing and stuff like that, right? And stuff. We'll let them do what we need to do. We're going to put up shields, I suppose. And then Rhodes is going to do Rhodes stuff. Now, our Rhodes is very, very fast, which is pretty cool. We will save that ability. And then again, we'll put a increase attack on our own champions. A1. 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 Like so. Obviously, increase attack is always pretty nice to do. There isn't many like crazy teams at the moment for where we are in the arena right now, so it's a case of just trying to find and whoever we can find and basically try and make this work. Again, we have a Arbiter, Kaima, and stuff. Oh, okay, maybe we can test out the revive actually. That would be pretty nice to see, right? To see the revive in action and see and how she does here. We get that. Okay, cool. So Rose died. That's what I want him to do, really. And I just want to see if the revive is pretty nice or not. HIGHMOTHER does his stuff. You do get a little bit of turn meter. I'm just wondering, like, if that could be buffed just slightly. We will go ahead and drop a heal there of like 16,000. I know we'll just come in and wipe Trunder out before she wipes us out. We've got petrification there on Thingy. And then, like so. Actually, not a bad champion for PvP if it's built correctly. Like, you're always gonna have increased attack, which is really good to see for like go second teams. The problem is with go second teams is I kind of would have liked to see increased defense on the A1 as well, because like the defense nukers are probably a little bit better to go with. That it's only really Rodus, maybe Leo, Push, Monkey, who are quite solid for like that. I suppose Sigford, but he's a mythical. There is a couple of, you know, tap base nukers that are quite good for go second teams, but again, they're mainly mythicals. Like, there's a couple around for some like bits and bobs, utility and stuff like that. She would be quite good in HYDRA though, and I'll show you in a second why she'd be quite good in HYDRA. So I think HYDRA is where it's actually going to be a spot. Like, I actually really like the look of her for HYDRA. I think that's where kit's going to be mainly used. Personally, myself, like I'm quite experienced when it comes to HYDRA. So, unfortunately, I always have a love and hate relationship with HYDRA. And then you come in, you do that, you get feared. She cleanses on the A1, which is going to work a bit like a 2-hack, right? So means that you won't actually need to run like a Duchess and stuff like that. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look in the HYDRA, see what's going on there as well. Okay, right, so we're in HYDRA. I just picked out his HYDRA team and we replaced the Duchess with the HIGHMOTHER, right? And stuff like that. I had to wait to get the provoke on in harmony to make sure this one is in sync and stuff like that. You can see here we've got quite a few debuffs. We've got increased accuracy, speed, attack, defense. We'll probably have shields up in a second as well, and stuff. And I think this is where she could be better, because she's gonna be better than 2-hack for like the. I generally think for like world record teams, it can be pretty juicy. So this is on a 3-turn cooldown, but she's in reflex, right? If you can get like reflex, impulse, or maybe relentless, could be an interesting set. Merciless as well, because it is classed as a hit. And then 4-piece merciless. There's probably like a couple of other sets, maybe a protection set, 9-piece, if you can get that to protect you against mischief. Or also it would be pretty juicy for that, just to try and get this background so you can keep your debuffs on for longer as possible. You can see there that we've just extended all our debuffs, which is pretty juicy. Again, like, we want to try and do that much as possible, and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to let this run out throughout the whole video, and then we'll go come back to it and see what we can do there, right? So I'm going to go ahead, turn off the camera, turn off the mic, and I'll see you after this, guys. So as you can see here, I think she is actually a fantastic champion for this style of team. I think Mafala doesn't really work in this team, or Yugo. For sure some changes could be made here, some adjustments could be made to the team, but I think the utility that HIGHMOTHER brings to this team is fantastic. And she definitely, like, from in my personal opinion, the better version of 2-Hack. It's kind of hard to kind of compare it to 2-Hack because 2-Hack brings other utility that HIGHMOTHER doesn't, but she's definitely, I would say, a more attainable at some point than 2-Hack, but long term it's still like it takes you a long time to get her, right? And 2-Hack is a void legendary, so depending on how you kind of look at it, spender like a whale kraken, you're probably gonna get 2-Hack before her, unfortunately. But she is the better version for mainly the passive ability, being able to cleanse off the boss with the passive ability. It's really effective against Torment. You could even bring Veils in there if you wanted to make it a bit consistent, and then extend them Veils for like Duchess or the other guy, I can't remember his name. It actually brings block buffs, and she brings the revive, which makes your team runs much more accessible. I think with, like, if you're trying to push like 1 billion key, and there is a couple of us that do try and push towards 1 billion on like Nightmare and Brutal, she's definitely going to be a safe option than 2-Hack, let's just say, because of the revive, right? You don't know how many times that we sit here and redo our keys just because of that. So she's definitely a safe bet because of that. There is the problem that she doesn't bring the block buffs and stuff like that, but also, like, she does have that duration as well, so she kind of has something similar to what a block buff roll does within HYDRA, which stops them putting up stuff. She can reduce the reflection, she can reduce um generally the reflections, the main one from like Wrath and Blythe, where your champions would nuke and die. So it's quite effective. I think within this build, I think it's very, very solid build as well, and it's quite effective against that. I think with all cleansers, it should be quite effective as well, because she generally doesn't need that cleanser. With her, she could definitely do her job herself, and with that single attack ability as well, because it's only a single attack, even if she doesn't, she has like other buffs on her, she doesn't cleanse the provoke, you can use the A1 instead of wasting the A2 with the Torment rotation. That's something you could kind of do with her as well, to kind of proc the Truth here to take its turn or whatever. So yeah, a lot of utility and stuff like that. I'm not going to keep this key because it's not a great key. I definitely think that JR could rework this just slightly, just to make the team a bit more effective, but I suppose he just wants a full auto team. So how do we build it then, and what stats are we looking for? Mainly with the HYDRA build, I went with the high HP, very good speed, and with the accuracy. They were like the main three stats I was looking at. Obviously defense will help as well for survivability. Accuracy, because I see some utility in A1 for the decreased attack. I see some utility in A2 just in case Mischief steals the buffs. You could arguably say that she doesn't need the accuracy, and you just go full tankage. It depends on the team chemistry and what you're building for that team. You definitely do want her to be the fastest, and you could arguably want her in Relentless maybe, so she rotates a bit more, takes a few more turns. But I went for the reflex build, man. Like, reflex on her would be pretty strong as well. With refresh would be pretty strong. So how we've gone, you're gonna go HP banner or accuracy banner here, especially if you're building accuracy, and then you go HP here as well. Then you're going to go HP ring here as well, speed here, and then defense and HP ascended, and then you go vice versa with the gloves as well, and then you go speed and some accuracy here. For the A1, sorry for the masteries, I actually went with I did choose to go with War Master. Obviously, for me, I think that's probably much the way to go with any Hydra team, especially if you're an in-game player. You could go with I suppose Elixir Life would be a waste. Maybe Eagle Eye at a push. I think War Master is a pretty strong one, and also like even running masteries is probably something that's probably legit as well. Steadfast, obviously, for extra HP. Rapid response for extra turn meter. Cycle of Magic just to help to try and get her A2 backgrounds, and maybe in a revive. Spirit Haste for extra speed, just in case you start losing some allies. And then, like, just increasing the heals overall as well. And then I actually took Snipe for the decrease attack on the A1 to give you 5% extra for the decrease attack. So that's it for my mother, Maul. What do I think of her? Outside Hydra, I think she's maybe a little bit underwhelming. I would probably give her like 7 out of 10 for any type of PvP. I just feel like how late you get her, I can't really see her being used anywhere other than Hydra because of her kit. So for like Hydra, I'd give her 9 out of 10. I think she could be a fantastic champion there overall. But I think the kit could be slightly better with how long we are waiting to get her. I think she could be better for sure. That's something that Plarium could kind of look at. Looks like there'll probably be some skins in future, maybe. I think some blessings as well would generally help her as well. So that's it. That's my conclusion for her. I actually kind of just want to look at the ratings quickly. Faction Wars, Twins, Arena, Defense, and Offense. Clan Boss. I suppose Clan Boss would be quite effective as well. But again, like Clan Boss teams, most people go unkillable for me. So yeah, definitely a PvC champion. But I think there's stronger out there for sure. And I think when you do get her, you probably will have slightly stronger champions. So yeah, that's my conclusion overall. I won't be breaking my back to get her, but she definitely will be a nice champion for my other Hydra teams when I do get her. So that's it from me really there. Anyway, guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been grimreaper. Thanks so much for joining me today. Big shout out to JR for letting me borrow his account to bring you today's video. I'll see you tomorrow on tomorrow's upload. We got a juicy one for tomorrow, so make sure you go check out the channel. And I'll see you in stream as well. That's down in the links on Twitch. We go live tonight at 6 p.m. GMT time. See you then. Peace.